So I thought if I don't start filming, I'll probably never work out a topic or something to say. So I'm just going to do, I've just turned everything on. What I like to do is double check my left-right timing. So I turn off all my EQs, let the left-hand side play and not the right-hand side. And this is the pink noise generated from Open Sound Meter, and I've got this mic on my left cheek. And then I reset the measurements time value so it's in the middle there. Hang on, I've only got so many hands. Thought about getting a vlogging camera that you stick to your head, but so far no go. Oops. I'm trying to click this button but it won't let me. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Right. Yeah, now it's at the right time, right in the middle. Turn off all the other stuff. Doing the one hand mic and cheek hold, phone hold, taking a picture. Press store. Of course it does it in bright yellow. Try again. So it's in slightly darker colour. Do the other side. Put the mic on the other side of my face. And then I'll time slip up here, the right hand side. And just because it's a YouTube video, I'll do it deliberately too far. Ready? So here it's way up front. So that's roughly 0.2 milliseconds out. And that's just from setting it at one temperature and then coming back and listening to another temperature. And I can do this by ear, get it within 0.1. And you certainly don't notice these micro last less than a tenth. So they're all lined up now. And just quickly I can show you. Here's like a tweeter by itself. High mid by itself. Six-inch by itself. For me, it's always where it starts to go up, and sometimes you can play with the settings here, get it more stable. Right there, it starts to go up. Now, a bit of high volume sometimes helps. Now, there's 8-inch. Goes up first before it goes down. That's just the nature of these crossovers. And the sub is actually very hard to get. You can see the bulk of it's coming up here. Yeah, just for that moment. I've found that I can also get rid of the EQ correction on the sub, just for this moment. I have a preset here, just no correction, but it still has the same amount of latency. You see that was a bit smoother. Alright, so that I'll do the basic timing like that. I'm happy. Put it back to the correction. So this correction, this is part of my method, which I haven't really gone over in great depth. But the crossover is theoretically perfect. The car's cabin gives you your target. All you have to do is make a filter to correct your speaker to play perfectly flat. And again, perfectly flat from the speaker does not mean perfectly flat at the listening position. The car's gain in different frequencies gives you a target, and it's a natural thing to have. to get the best sound. I'll do that for every speaker, but I'll keep the correction in mono, and there's other reasons for that, so you can see why it's hard for me to start a topic, because there's so much ground to cover. And I've also done near field measurements to, if I go to spectrum, it's on spectrum now, and I'll use pink noise. So you can see there's a bit of a target going up like that, and it's a bit, it's pink on a white scale too, so it's naturally looking a little bit flat. And I have, when I'm not listening to, say, pure classical or jazz or something, I'll put on an extra 100 hertz pump. It gets a bit more rowdy in the bottom end. But anyway, back to no EQ. So I'll go like this for tweeters, and I'll set the level here on the screen. I'll just do another pause. Yeah, so I'll took the snapshot with 1 inch away from the tweeter, and then I'll go high mid, and all I have to do now is set my high mid level when the microphone is 1 inch away from the high mid. Just waiting, so here it's maybe 2 or 3 dB too hot. I'll turn that down over here. And measure again. Just until it's like in the ballpark, right? So there's a lot of it that's in line with that tweeter. So the 1 to 2K there. And that actual little bump at 3.5, 4K is actually part of the crossover design. So it's good to know if you had a picture of what the crossovers do look like. And do the 6 again, about 1 inch away from the speaker. And here we're riding a little bit higher. Probably could have turned the tweeter up at the start rather than doing all this, but where there's a way, there's a way. Turn the 6 down here. Say 3 or 4 dB. Go again. Still a bit hot. Turn the 6 down here. Couple more. And I've just realised I've done all that with pink noise, and that's why I had the rising effect. I'll start again with that tweeter, hey? Yeah, so white noise is much louder. I'll take another screenshot. It's good to keep these simple little errors in your videos. So 1 inch from the high mid. So now we're shy on that 1 to 2K. Turn it back up. So everything was cooking well until that error. Yeah, up a bit more. Probably just go back to where it all was. Right, so now we're in the ballpark. Half a dB more. 6. I'll turn up first because I know that I turned it down 1 inch from the speaker. So I'm trying to match that green peak with the blue. Up it up. A bit more. Everything's back to where it was. Okay, 8. 8's down here. It sounds very high. I haven't moved that one today, so it's roughly there, a little bit more. Switch to the 12-inch now. And I'll put this mic an inch in front of the subwoofer. Using white noise here, turn up a bit. Because I did a correction on that sub last night, I didn't turn it back up properly. That looks alright. All together. Pink, white noise, pink noise, and music. As you can see, this technique, allowing the cabin gain to be the target instead of imposing a target, and mimicking your crossovers digital response with white noise on a white noise graph, getting some good target, and then you just have a taste EQ on top. Leave you with this little bit of stereo spectrum viewing. There's a cute little sound. That's the center. That's the frequency. Higher frequency, lower frequency. Panning position is there. Second sound comes in here. They're not quite mid-right or mid-left. And this is a track by Beaverkin. Peaceful. Some higher off-centered hi-hat. General sound fields. Your obligatory 808 drum patterns. there's your music signature. There's me talking. There's red line. I just captured a quick round the head. This would be the target. This is white noise captured on a white noise graph with my tuning. I'll turn off that. It's annoying. So it's about a 90 dB floor, minus 90. A couple of lumps here and there. It starts to rise, say from 400 down, another 10 dB. So that includes the range of about 300. And then an extra 5 for this journey in the 100s. And then by the time it gets to the sub energy, and this is using all flat near field measurements, we have a plus 30 in the base shelf. So that's my target. I have experimented in the past by sculpting out this 250 just by my ear, and in the past other people have turned up the 2K, 1K as like a compensation to get you from here to there. But so I think a lot of people are used to this mid-range dominance that you get from listening position microphone techniques. But I'm quite happy with that sound. Like I said, the flavour for the moment is what I do up here on my EQ page. I even have a 9K boost for, when your ears are a bit tired. And it's only 4 or 5 in the shelf after 9K. And, fun stuff for funner tracks where you turn up the bass a bit more. Alright, I'll leave you with that one and catch you all later.